Hello friends, welcome back to the video tutorials for Ultimate VC Addons. My name is Aniket and here to introduce you to our new family member, that is Advanced Carousel. This element acts as a container in which you can add other elements and display them as a carousel on your web page. Let's explore the backend and some live examples. So here we are on the demo page that I have designed to showcase different possibilities in which we can implement the carousel effect. So here I have added single image in the carousels. Here I have tried adding 3 elements. We have advanced button in a vertical carousel, just icon, and video player. And here we have full width carousel which has been kept on autoplay, and the elements slide automatically after a specific delay. Now let's have a look in the backend what all we have done and explore the properties of those elements. So here we are. As you can see, this is the carousel element which acts as a container for other elements to fit into the container so that a carousel effect is applied to them. Here we have 3 containers and 3 different types of elements. A single container. So now let's start with adding the carousel from the list of elements by clicking on the plus sign and Ultimate VC Addons. We have advanced carousel over here, which will give you a bunch of options, and these are the backend options for advanced carousel. We have 4 tabs with numerous options, and it will also add this container along with a row in which you can add elements by clicking on this button. You can add any of this element given on screen and add a carousel effect to them. Now let's start by exploring the backend options one by one, starting with the carousel on top. By clicking on the edit button, this window will be open. Now we're looking at this carousel which contains bunch of single images. The slider type is horizontal. You can choose your carousel to be vertical or horizontal full width. Clicking on vertical will make your carousel look like this, and clicking on full width will make your carousel acquire the full browser width. Depends on the theme that you are using. Slides to scroll, 2 options are there, all visible or one at a time. Choosing all visible will make all the elements slide at a time once you click on the navigation buttons. So depending upon the number of items you have chosen to show, I have chosen 3 items to show. So once I click on the navigation button, 3 items will scroll at a time, and you can choose it to be one at a time, so only one item will be scrolled at a time. Moving ahead, here you can choose how many items do you want to show on desktop, on tablets, and on mobiles. So if I change this number, only those many elements will be shown. So here I have chosen only 2 elements to be shown, so only 2 elements will be shown at a time, and once they are scrolled, still the number will remain the same. You can choose if you wanna show it in infinite loop, yes or no. So once the number of elements end, it will again start from the beginning. And if you select this to be no, then once the number of elements end, you'll have to scroll it back. So here I have used 4 elements. So once this 1, 2, 3 and 4th element, this button won't work and I'll have to scroll it back. So you can choose if you want to use an infinite loop or not. Transition speed, the speed in which the elements will be scrolled, and autoplay as well as its duration. So you can try out various possibilities over here, like I have done here. The transition speed is set very slow and the autoplay duration is also less. So once the elements are scrolled, the next element scrolls immediately. Moving ahead, in the navigation tab you can choose between navigation arrows and dots navigation. So either thing, you can choose if you want to show arrows, select their colors. So if I'm using a background behind the carousel, I can choose those arrows to be in the white color. Can select colors from here as well as the type of arrows, and dot navigation, which is shown over here. Here we don't show the dot navigation, so the dots aren't visible here, and here the arrows are set to no, so the arrows aren't visible here. Animations, you can add different types of animation choosing from all these given options. So when the element is scrolled, you can see the kind of animation on the element. So here I have applied a bounce effect. So once the element is scrolled, it bounces. Here it rolls in from right like this. So these are the types of animation that you can apply on the elements when you scroll them. In the advanced tab, this is for different kinds of devices. The draggable effect, here I have selected it to yes. So when I drag the elements with mouse, the elements are scrolled accordingly. This is helpful when a visitor is viewing your site on mobiles or touchscreen devices. So here you can also select the touch move to work. It will enable the slide moving with touch. And here we have Rtl mode. So the elements will be scrolling from right to left. And this option lets you add space between two items. Let's have a look at the example in this carousel. Here I have added 0 pixel of gutter between the elements. So once I add say 10 pixels of space between two items and preview the same, so I'll see a gap will be added, space of 10 pixels will be added between two elements. So you can also choose if you want spaces between the elements. Now this also depends upon the individual classes being applied to the elements. For example, for single image and other elements which have separate design options in the backend, so there you'll have to change the paddings and margins in pixels, so accordingly the space will be visible. So these are the options in the backend in which you can display your carousel. And as the carousel is nothing but a container, you can add any kind of element into the carousel container from here. As you can see, different variations over here. I have added single image, advanced button, just icon, video player, single images again. So any element from this list can be added into the container depending upon the requirements of your website and your particular themes. So that's all with the advanced carousel introduction. Now let's just quickly review what all are the highlights. You can carousel anything at any position. You can use full width carousel section, vertical carousel like we saw. You can define custom gutter space. You can choose and customize your own navigations like arrows and dots. It is responsive to be used on multiple devices as well as drag and touch friendly. You can apply different types of animations and there are lots of settings to choose from. I hope this tutorial helped you in understanding the working of Carousel. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you stay updated with our product related news and all other video tutorials.